Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good patriots, how are yous? Another hump day on our tick off our calendar, guys, and yeah, halfway through another week in the hellhole, as we might say. So, but what I do like is what I'm seeing, guys. I'm not seeing too much, but what I've seen, Parliament's really in turmoil, which, I mean, you know, they're a bunch of kids anyway, but it's really good to see them going at each other cutthroat. And, yeah, bringing up this, you know, bullshit energy about Bowen and stuff like that. So whether I was right last night or not about that rumour, guys, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Bowen yet. I think he's still holding his position, but, yeah. So we got Triple O again with Optus out in the Hunter region. So I hope no one was affected by that, guys. We've seen we've lost Dick Cheney today. Well, one way to put it, Dick Cheney was a true blue rhino. He's supposed to be wearing red, but he was wearing blue, guys. But anyway, yeah, Cheney's left us. We've had plenty going on up in Sydney over the arms participation at Darling Harbour. People arrested and a lot of carry on up there, guys. We got some stuff from ASIO that's come out. I don't know whether we'll see that in the show tonight, but it'll be, yeah, it's coming up soon, I think. But, yeah, ASIO just saying that the way I take it, guys, yeah, they, you know, the other countries out there are watching us very closely, if we can believe what Mike Burgess is saying, okay? So that just means that, yeah, the big boys out there are in panic mode, as we do believe, and as we, you know, feels what's going on. I think they may well be, guys. Now, the Race Discrimination Commissioner calls attention to the high number of official complaints. Well, I reckon half of them be your narratives through your people, all right? Yeah, and the racism will be going against us people. That's just how I see it. Now, not that this would surprise you people out there, but the average punter out there, your toddler may have up to 96 chemical substances lurking inside of them, scientists discover. Well, we know there's a lot, guys, all right? There's a lot of substances in all of us, and we should all be looking after each other, all right? And especially the kids, all right? No more shots, okay? and get your houses cleaned up, guys. All right, you must clean up your environment because everything that you are touching is not good for you. Okay. Yeah. Bowen's apparently come out with more lunatic climate schemes, but as we see, the Liberals are letting him get away with it, mate. They might be putting on a bit of a show, but I think that's exactly what it is. All for show, guys. We all know they all work together, so I think we're just putting on a show for you, the public. The experts share tiny home warning as interest from young people soars. And why wouldn't it be soaring in tiny homes, guys? Because our young are never going to experience a chance of actually owning or buying a home. It's just not possible. Not possible at this present time. And again, we're going over the same stuff, guys, but more than 3 million Aussies are going hungry. 3 million. Well, I'd like to see if there's 3 million immigrants out there going hungry. I don't think there is. I really don't. Or sleeping in tents, or under bridges, or on the streets. No. So again, guys, same stuff. I can't see it, Don. All right, let's get in. Caz is there, ready to go, is she? No, she's still sharing out. What's that? The shops in a small town lost internet today, no card payments, unable to take cash. A lot of angry people. Unable to take cash. Well,
yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. And Wade's got more bad news for us too.
Hey,
everybody.
Bring it on, Wade.
Breaking news from Canberra here in the ACT in Australia. This is the capital city for our international viewers. This is the capital city of Australia here. Right behind me, we can see Parliament House. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025. And as people may know, Billboard Battalion's been attending Parliament a lot last few sitting weeks. And what we've seen here today is one of the main things that we've been here to try and influence, try and educate people on. And that is what has just passed today in the Senate. So now becomes Australian law, is the Australian Centre for Disease Control. And it was the Bill 2025. And the Australian Centre for Disease Control Consequential Amendments and Transitional Provisions Bill. So what happened here today is absolutely catastrophic for Australia. Your governments have just sold you out. What we can expect to happen now in Australia is the most dangerous period we've ever had. As people who've been following the stuff that we've been talking about have noticed that we have been reporting and pushing hard to try and fight back against the World Health Organisation. That was back in July, just this year, the 19th of July 2025. The Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, failed to pull Australia out of a deal with the World Health Organisation, and we then became legally bound to what they call the international health regulations. And part of that arrangement, where we're now stuck with the World Health Organisation in total control of our country. The government here no longer in real terms exists.
You treasonous bastards.
We knew it was coming. Wade had warned us it was coming. We've told everybody it was coming. And here it is, guys, on your doorstep. Next round. This gives them, actually, speaking of doorsteps, this gives them the right to walk into your doorstep, guys. Walk straight through your fucking front door and put on whatever baloney bullshit that they want, okay, because that's exactly what they can do now, okay, and just kick you out, take your house, do whatever they want, take your kids.
And before I bring on the digital ID, you've also got this on top of that. So the VPN ban on the table as the Online Safety Act could be expanded. The problem with this online safety... Yeah, no, they are. Absolutely, they are.
Yep. They are shitting themselves of you people out there, okay? Because you're doing a marvellous job, guys. All right, but we got to go now. Like, I know I'm preaching to the choir and I'm repeating myself, okay? But it's time for us to step it up, man. All right, it really is. All right, tomorrow night we're going to go over the 11th with some people. Penny will be on. I don't know whether Daz is coming on or not. Franco will be back on. All right, and we're going to be pushing that. Who's out there working for the 11th, guys? If you don't think this is a critical time, you're kidding yourself. You are kidding yourself. This is a very, very critical time.
The level of treason in Australia is just absolutely outrageous, you know. Yep. And like even Sky has picked up on it. They've put this out about the digital ID.
That a digital ID is the end of democracy as we know it and an irreversible step into a dystopian future of firstly no cash, just a digital currency controlled by governments, potentially leading to a Chinese-style social credit system where government has the ability to control and restrict every single aspect of your lives, from where you go, how you travel, your health care, what you eat, control over your spending habits, a veto over your job prospects, and so on. On your screen is the World Economic Forum's graph on how a digital ID is central to controlling every part of an individual's life. Financial services, food and sustainability, travel and mobility, e-commerce, social media and telecommunications, it's all there. And of course, every aspect of your healthcare. Digital ID schemes potentially give absolute powers of surveillance and control over every aspect of your life to unelected bureaucrats, unscrupulous politicians and greedy governments and corporations. If you don't think future authoritarian governments of whatever persuasion won't use these powers ruthlessly and mercilessly, then you must have been fast asleep during COVID QR codes and vaccine mandates. According to an opinion piece in LifeSite News, the reality of digital identity is not about curbing illegal immigration. It has nothing to do with securing jobs, and it most certainly isn't meant to protect youth online. They say digital ID is the linchpin of the United Nations push for a global surveillance state.
Here it comes, guys.
Yeah. Well, look, here's the thing. We've seen what's going on.
Hey.
Caz.
I took myself out. Okay. Now, somebody's put up this, Darren of Plymouth has put this up, lawful rebellion. You're right under Magna Carta. So it says under 61 of the Magna Carta of 1215, the founding document of our Constitution, we have the right to enter into lawful rebellion if we feel we are being governed unjustly. Contrary to common belief, our sovereign and her government are only there to govern us and not to rule us, and this must be done within the constraint of our common law and freedoms asserted to us by such law. Nothing can become law in this country if it falls outside of this simple constraint. Article 61 shows quite clearly who really holds the power in this country, that being quite simply us, the people. We have sovereignty, not any parliament, and nor can this be taken from us by any parliament who claims to have taken the people's sovereignty. I found that really interesting.
Oh, look, we know we've got plenty of bases to stand on, Caz. But the problem is these guys just ain't going to listen. And like we said up here, or they're talking about in the comments here, yeah, we need the numbers. Okay, well, yeah, we only need enough, but, you know, so the numbers are coming, guys. All right, the numbers are coming, you know, so we work harder as the numbers are coming in. Simple as that. The more we get in, the more we got to work.
Well, that's it. This is a story about QBE. Yeah, I know. QBE flooded some bees.
Half years ago, on the day I buried my mother, it came through and smashed our farm and hives. We have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in insurance, and we found that we put in the claim, followed what the brokers said, and then our insurer QBE said Gallagher hadn't done their job right. That's Gallagher brokers. My children and I have worked our guts out, getting our hives going. We've paid out millions of dollars to get everything up and going. And theoretically, it should all be covered by our insurance, which I've paid. For them to go, we're not paying. We're reviewing our decision. For 4 years, they've been reviewing their decision. We have done reports from PwC. we've had advisors from BDO, we've had other accountants, we've had lawyers, but all of this is bleeding us dry, all because in New Zealand, QBE won't pay their bills. We've had barrister tell us he's got 12 clients who are all QBE. Because if you're a major claim and something really happens to you, you can guarantee they'll let you drown. We have done everything they ask. We've done negotiations in good faith, and they break the negotiations. I've got paperwork that says one thing, and then they turn their back on it again and again, and no one cares. Please help our business by supporting and buying some honey, sharing and posting, and letting QBE know what they're doing is wrong. When this flood.
So if you're with QBE in Australia, guys, they will be just as harsh on you, okay, as they will be with, you know, the New Zealanders, guys. All right, this is all by design. Sending a quiet financial. This guy, you know, he just said he's outlaid millions of dollars, you know what I mean, before he's even got his insurance. All right, he's a big player, obviously. They'll take him down. Simple. That's what they do.
And there is we need bees. They should be fostering them. Like I've noticed there's a massive shortage of bees.
Did you see the other one I sent you from the States about all the bees?
No,
yeah?
Not that I haven't. No, not yet.
Oh, wow, man. Wow. Scary.
Well, it is. Now, ASIO, somebody just mentioned ASIO. Isn't that interesting? Because Mike Burgess is seeing the future.
In terms of social cohesion, the internet is the greatest incubator of grievance narratives and conspiracy theories. It's an echo chamber for disaffection, misinformation, and reinforcement. And while the internet incubates, social media accelerates. If you engage with hardline but non-violent religious content on one of the most popular platforms, its algorithms will serve up more and more extreme material until, after just a few clicks, you'll be watching grotesque ISIS propaganda. And while the internet incubates and social media accelerates, artificial intelligence exacerbates. You will not be surprised to know that I am deeply concerned about the potential for AI to take online radicalisation and disinformation to entirely new levels. The result of these compounding dynamics is a domestic security environment with an unprecedented number of challenges and an unprecedented cumulative level of potential harm. Australia has never faced so many different threats at scale at once. And these dynamics are putting unprecedented strain on our social fabric, the fabric Frank Lowy helped weave and preserve. Fractured community cohesion is not one of the specific matters ASIO is empowered to investigate, but it is directly linked to our three most pressing security concerns: espionage, foreign interference, and politically motivated violence.
Now, isn't that interesting? Because it's funny how young people are really waking up and putting the dots together. This guy put this out today because of that.
Video in a few months. I'm predicting there is going to be a terrorist attack in Australia, a massive one that will have massive implications, and I also believe it will be a false flag. You can see here that Australia's general terrorism threat is probable, and this has come from the government, so if that's what they're admitting, what do they know that we don't?
Well, they know that we don't. They know their plan, guys, but their plan, you could be spot on there, young fella, the way that they're cocking on about it all. Something's coming, guys.
No, well, that's very interesting, isn't it? Now, because the big news is that Tommy Robinson, he got released from jail, or actually, he in his trial was overturned, found innocent, but the magistrate actually berated the police and said that they have to stop the political persecution of Tommy Robinson. Here he is just immediately afterwards, thanking, of course, Elon Musk, who funded his campaign to fight back.
First of all, as I'm walking out of court, Elon Musk, I'm forever grateful. If you didn't step in and fund my legal fight for this, then I'd probably be in jail. So today, free speech won. In our fight back, the judge gave a damning verdict against them and against their unlawful and their targeted harassment. So thank you, Elon, from me, personally, thank you.
All right, the tide could be turning, guys. Tommy could be
Well,
a Zionist. Who knows who's what in the zoo, guys? All right, you can accuse everyone of being anything you want, but until this final curtain pulls, you got no idea who anyone is. No idea.
Well, that's
if
right.
you have, come and give me the list, will you? Because I'd
Well,
love to know.
also in England, what's interesting is there's more property in London that are owned by Indians than by British people.
Well, there's more land owned in Australia by Chinese people than Australian people.
Well, that's right. So very interesting, though. But I like what Poland's response is at the moment to any kind of illegal immigrants.
We put the cuffs, we put them on the plane and send them back from whatever they came from. It's simple as that.
So
and
would
all
you say
these
that,
papers.
Would you say that British lawyers and politicians who say it's impossible are not telling the truth?
Well, they do not know how to deal with the real problem. This is not a paper. This is not a film. This is not a movie. This is a real situation. And all these excuses, all these lawyers, I'm a lawyer too. I'm doing my PhD on human rights as well. I know what we can do and how we have to react as a politicians who are responsible for our families, for our citizens. This is not a theory. This is a time for people who can act, not debating. We are debating since 2015, as I said, when Germany started this minute. It's time to act. So what I would say to your political elites or to the people, I would say, send them back. Do not read anything. Send them back. Protect yourself, because it's not about your fancy way of living. It's about protection. It's about surviving. It's not a joke. So many people are killed, raped.
Wow.
Look, we got to do exactly the same thing, but we just got to get a hold of it first, because they're just continuing to smack us with shit, guys. It's going to keep everybody distracted. All right, keep the heat on you, wondering what you're going to do about this and about that and about that. Whilst you're doing all that, you're not thinking about this, okay? And this is get out, wake up your street, have your street, wake your neighborhood, and get ready for a big Remembrance Day, guys.
That's it. Look, another thing that's happening in Europe at the moment is the cows that have been fed Bavier, and they're dying. This is in Holland.
Hier komen nu min mand forbi med det sidste KFID. Det er vores koambulance. Igen, één go. Det fælder ned. De kan ikke rejse op mere. Igen, Bovair selvfølgelig.
So that's to stop cow farting, another one of these insane climate change policies. And of course, it's killing the cows. Now, that looks to me like a Jersey. That's a milker cow. So that would actually be going into the food supply. That would be going into the. Geez, you don't want that there. Now, what's happening in Mexico is very interesting. Trump has actually offered to sort out the cartels, the drug cartels, the same as what's going on in Venezuela. Here's a little bit of a report.
Another number of more politicians that they have been assassinated because they go against the narrative of the cartel and the organized crime. Carlos Manzo was always fighting against the narrative of the organized crime and the cartel, always trying to protect the citizens. And he even in a video, he said that Donald Trump is right, that we need help to combat the organized crime and the cartel. He also asked, and days before, for more protection for the president of Mexico. The president of Mexico neglected the protection, and this is what happened. On the day of the death, he was assassinated, brutally assassinated. Just to comment to everybody, after these events, on the next day, the governor of Michoacan tried to go to the funeral. He was booted out. He was, almost ushered out because all of the people were extremely upset. And on the same day, the citizens of Uruapan went all the way to the governmental palace of Michoacan and rushed, to enter, to just protest, riot. The people are really upset of what is happening over here.
I mean, it's just truly horrific.
It's continuing to happen, guys. All right. All I can say again is we are going to stand up, or we are going to be in all sorts of trouble.
Well, that's it. Look, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out about the vaccines, and this is a report by John Bodian in Massachusetts. It's pretty intense, actually.
Cassidy Baraka was 7 years old, got her vaccine, reacted in 5 minutes.
Go ahead, I'll extend it for a few
Thank you.
seconds.
Vomited for 8 to 10 hours. Then she got a second vaccine, terrible abdominal pain, and she died at 7 years old from her second COVID shot. And the only thing on her death record in Part 1 says she died from COVID. Everybody can look this up. You can try me for felony, whatever. This is all the truth. Ian Shoemaker was 11 years old. Amaya McDonough Rocha was 12 years old. Cerebellar tonsillar and bilateral uncal herniation stroke in a 12-year-old girl. I hope doctors would understand what a cerebellar tonsillar and bilateral uncal herniation is in a 12-year-old. She got 4 vaccines on August 3rd, 2022. Meningococcal, Tdap, her third COVID shot, and HPV. She reacted and died from a stroke in that month. So these are all facts in the record in Massachusetts. So you have a legal duty to act to investigate the department. Every one of you has that legal duty. You took this job. And if you don't investigate it to find out that what I'm saying is true, and they committed felony fraud as a matter of custom and practice in Massachusetts, overinflating COVID deaths and hiding vaccine deaths. Okay, thank you. All that science stuff goes over your heads. I get it. But the reality is these people died from the vaccine. They were certified on the records as having died from the vaccine, and it was hidden by removing the Y5 9.0 code, which means death from viral vaccines. So it's being hidden from the public. So with the fraud that I'm accusing, what good are all your statistics? You got to straighten out your house first.
Look, we had the same sort of information put out at Port Hedland, didn't they, guys? And look what they've done there. Just shunted it around, you know, sacked the council, you know, just done all sorts of stuff, guys, all right? So, again, we can have all those people doing that, but it's going to be up to you to do it.
That's it. Look, there's also, we've heard a lot about Diddy. One of the people that's not been heard of a lot is actually Jay-Z. Now, this is the singer Mia, or actually MIA, Missing in Action, I think it stands for.
Time to Rock Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce because that's it. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now. And even Adele, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager. And bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch. Or be that, all of that. Fuck all of them.
It's very interesting when people actually come out and just tell it like it is and just say, no, this happened to me, you know? So they're on shaky grounds. Their house of cards,
Yeah,
so many houses of cards are coming down.
Yeah, basic facts. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, no, look, I'm just going to bring on the flyers. We've got a heap coming on, a heap of things coming up. So I'll just use that time now. And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And there will be a Truther fundraiser on Saturday the 8th of November at 5 p.m. at Davison Town Progress Hall, 5 Macaulay Street, Davistown, opposite Ferry Wharf. The cost of entry will be $20. And there is a court call out for court support in Tamworth Council versus Rocco at the JMT Local Court in Sydney on the 4th of the 12th of the 25th, and that is for rate arrears. And there is a court call out On Friday, the 14th of November at 9 a.m. at New South Wales Supreme Court, Dr. Beverly Pearce and Rod Cullerton are suing High Court Registrar Anna Bennett for perverting the course of justice and blocking access to the High Court. And Mullumbimby, New South Wales, will be holding an 8:32 muster from Friday the 21st to Monday the 24th of November. Book a campsite at Mullumbimby Showground. And on Saturday, the 22nd of November, there is an Abolish Abortion Australia conference. This will be featuring T. Russell Hunter, founder of Abolitionists Rising. The tickets are $27.78 and it is on Saturday, the 22nd of November, 11:30am to 4:30pm, 12 Belvedere Street, Surrey Hills. Every Saturday in Melbourne at 10am, there is an instructing of the Governor at the Governor Gates. And in Melbourne, Justice for the People would like to remind everyone that they gather every Sunday at 4:30pm at the Shrine of Remembrance. And the Worldwide Rally for Freedom will be hosting Save Australia, Albo Must Go, Stop Mass Immigration, Stop Government Corruption, Saturday the 15th of November, 12pm, Parliament House, Melbourne. And there will be a mass non-compliance date against the digital ID, starting on the 11th of November for 11 days. On the 11th day of the 11th month, cash only or pre-plan, no online purchases and no purchases. And in Sydney on Remembrance Day, Tuesday the 11th of November. First of all, there will be a meeting at Hyde Park at 10am, then a 11am Remembrance Day service. Then they will be calling on Governor Margaret Beazley to do her job and sack this government. And there will be a Remembrance Day gathering on Tuesday the 11th of November in Melbourne. First of all, 11am, Shrine of Remembrance on St Kilda Road. Then they're going to march to Governor House and ask for Governor Margaret Gardner to do her job and sack this government, lest we forget. And in Adelaide on the 11th of November, they will meet at the Adelaide National War Memorial at 10:30am. Then they will walk to Parliament House. And in Canberra on the 11th of November at 10:30am, they will meet at the Australian War Memorial. There will be a protest for late-term abortion of healthy babies by Dr. Joanne Howe outside of the South Australian Parliament, Northern Terrace, on Wednesday the 12th of November, 5:30 to 6:30pm. And United Voice Australia are holding Australia Unites rally. Stop mass immigration now and address the cost of living. This is on the 23rd of November, 12pm, Brundle Park, Adelaide. And the Vaccine Injury Bus Tour will be happening again. November 10th, Wollongong. November 11th, Kiama. 12th, Nowra. 13th, Ulladulla. 14th, Narooma. 15th, Merimbula. 16th, Yass. 17th, Goulburn. And 18th, Bowral. Every day at 3pm on X, there is a daily prayer space. Melissa, 146-239-23.
And details for the Vax Bus are on the website, guys. Okay, so if it's coming to your location, you can find out where it is. Okay, just go to the website.
That's it. Zoran Mandami. Elon tweeted this out to his 235 million followers. Okay, he says, given that he's on the ballot twice, maybe he could win twice. Now, the crazy part about that was, not only was he on there twice, I've actually seen some photographs on social media where he was listed 3 times.
Who is it?
That's the Muslim
mayor
that just won in New York
City.
City.
It's just got, New York. Look out. He's going to be going for Trump. We need to put him in to see if he can stand up, mate.
Well, it is... Look, the thing is that there's a lot happening at the moment. So just before we go over that, all the things that are happening, though, this guy has been mispigmented, and you have to listen to him.
Guys, it happened again. I was out minding my own business, not bothering anybody, and I got mispigmented. I was at the Dollar Tree. I was picking up some wave caps for the 360 waves I'm growing out, and this guy behind me is like, I didn't know white guys needed those things. And I said, excuse me, bigot? Did you just dead skin me? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what am I talking about? I was assigned white at birth by a doctor, but I identify as a black man. And this whole time, the cashier's just kind of standing there. And I'm like, are you not going to say anything to this racist? She's like, sir, he's an actual black man. I said, actual black man? Do you understand how harmful those words are to transpigmented people like me? You know, and it's just like, how many black identifying white guys are going to have to suffer until people just start doing the right thing and affirming our identity? So the cashier is like, sir, you can either finish checking out or just leave. And I'm like, you keep calling me sir, but I identify as a woman. And she's like, I am so sorry, ma'am. And so I ended up getting like 50% off my order. So anyways, I'm just really frustrated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.
Taking the piss. Love it. Could have been an Aussie, that guy.
I know, it could have been. Look, the big news, of course, today is the Dick Cheney. Now, there's a couple of things going on about that. So let's hear from the guys over at True Stream Radio. Is it True Stream? No, Channel 17.
People that are stupid. Go ahead.
Wait, let me get this straight. He threw in a Cheney-Bush Iraq War reference, and the next day Dick Cheney died.
We didn't even touch on that yet. Cheney's
Good God.
Cheney dies 11.3.
And announced him 11.4.
Correct.
Crazy.
Oh shit.
Well, wait a second. Then that brings more credence to this because Dan
Yeah.
Scavino, 26 minutes in, so 12:26 a.m. would be 00:26 military time.
Yep.
Think about it logically. The only way is the military fully controlled save and spread once 11.3 verifies as first marker. He posted that 26 minutes after 11.3 ended.
Damn.
I love this job.
Verifies as the first
Good
marker.
So if those boys are right, this verifies as the first marker. However, a lot of the people in the Q world have mixed emotions about it, and there's a very good reason for that. So let's actually just take a look at who Dick Cheney actually was.
What is the revolving door of corruption? Everyone remembers the event that took place in New York in September 2001. Soon the Iraq War was underway. Bombs would fall from the sky, buildings, bridges, and oil pipelines destroyed. And a company named Halliburton would receive billions of dollars in government contracts to help rebuild the country. Oil, military bases, critical infrastructure. Every bomb dropped, money for them. But the really interesting part is that Halliburton's CEO from 1995 to the year 2000 was Vice President Dick Cheney. So they got the government contracts, and he still had stock in the company. And this is why I wrote our students this story on the revolving door.
Okay, so you have that start civil. Now, it's not just that. Remember the weapons of mass destruction, the whole shenanigans that went on along with regards to that.
Yep.
You also have this aspect. Now, this is actually congressionally being testified on. So this is Kathy O'Brien, and she said, Dick Cheney first beat, raped, hunted, and programmed me at 16 in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in 1974. And unelected President Ford, who thrust me into MK Ultra prior to the age of 5, had Cheney and Bush in his cabinet as detailed in testimony for Congress. So that's there is that aspect of it. Also, remember this clip from Anthony Bourdain. Remember Anthony Bourdain, the chef.
We have before we get arrested. Do we have a permit for this? We checked in with the Department of Homeland Security. What color code is it right now? What do you think Dick Cheney eats for lunch, other than, maybe small children? So let's.
What do you think Dick Cheney eats for lunch, other than, maybe small children? So now remember, Anthony Bourdain had been around these people, so there might be something just a little bit more into it.
Like I said, he was a true blue rhino. He was as Democrat as what you can get, guys.
Well, you have to remember too, Mike King, he's the historian and he's big on the Q drops as well. He's blown his stack over this. He's gone, Dick Cheney given inexplicable Rommel death, and he's just said, come on, white hats. If we can't try, convict and execute Cheney with full public knowledge, then what other deep state corpse is going to get a legacy-preserving death after the fact? And many would argue that is a really good, valid point.
Fair point. It's heating up. We got planes going down. We got trains hitting trucks. We got everything going off, guys, in America. We got weather wars going on, around the world. It is just insane. There's shit going on from Antarctica at the moment. It's supposed to be a reversal of currents. It's just all happening.
Well, there is too, and remember too the Q drops with regards to Pelosi.
And another one bites the dust. Oh, guys, stick with me on this one real quick. I want to show you all something. So you see this post here. It is post 1660, I believe, on the Q board back in 2018. And guess what it says? It says, think sealed indictments. That's a lot. Think resignation of CEOs, resignation of senators, resignation of Congress. Wow. Hold on. There's some big things going on. A lot of resignations, right, lately? Hold on. See, I love this post back in 2018. You know why? It's down here. It says, treason, corruption first, think resignations, coincidence, Speaker of the House resigning. Hold on.
Speaker of the House resigning. Of course, Nancy Pelosi is not going to contest her next term as well. Now, also remember that in the United States, they're a day behind us too. So tomorrow is the 5th of November, which Trump 12 months ago said this, not this November, but he said the 5th of November will always be something to remember. It relates to, of course, the where they tried to blow up in 1605 the Parliament, I think it was, the Guy Fawkes. And also it was made famous with the film V for Vendetta. And V for Vendetta is where the people rise up and actually reclaim. The numbers are so overwhelming that the government can't fool them, and they go and reclaim their Parliament building. So very interesting stuff going on at the moment. So look, we're being taken out by White Boy Raised on what is it? White Boy Raised on in Desert Ground.
Yeah.
It's a really great song. Dave sent it over earlier on. So Dave, if you'd like to wrap up and close the show, I'll hit play.
Well, we've seen what the Nepalese done, guys. All right, they done it their own way, but the youth over there were so well behaved in how they done it. They done it with force. All right, but they done it the right way, guys. They just walked in and used their numbers. Okay, but they done it the right way. They handed everything to the military. They done this, they done that. Well, they got people on their side. Italy's now showing the way, guys. All right, well, listen, them bloody wogs, all right, and I'm just saying, take it nicely, boys, but, them bloody wogs, they knocked us out of the World Cup with a false trip in the 18-yard box for a penalty. You going to let them out, do you? Are you? After knocking Australia out of the World Cup? Come on. We can do better than Italy, guys. Let's do it, Australia. 11th we start for at least 11 days. See you tomorrow night, people.
There's a road out past Coonamble where the gum trees bow and bend. A young bloke lost his family there at a curve that never ends. He watched the fire take mom and dad, trapped inside that Holden's frame. In the night it cried like thunder when he whispered out their names. But the red dust gave him shelter, and the old mob lent a hand. They taught him how to listen and how to understand. Now he walks the dreaming trails at night with a fire his hand. He lost his folks but found his soulless white boy, raised by the land. They showed him how to hunt and fish and read the stars above. He learned that pain turns into strength and silence turns to love. He's got the bush wind in his lungs and stories in his eyes. He'll tell you that the land don't judge, it only hears your cries. Now the red dust gave him shelter, and the old mob lent a hand. They taught him how to listen and how to understand. He sings his song beside the fire, just like a slim dusty band. He lost his blood but found his kin, that white boy raised by the land. Sometimes he walks that highway bend where it all came to an end. He lays a flower on the gravel there and whispers to the wind, don't you worry, Mom and Dad, your boy's still got a plan. The red dust gave him shelter, and the old mob lent a hand. He learned the ways of country and became a better man. White skin, black soul, heart of gold, he'll never need to plan, 'cause he found his home